My family threw me a going-away party, except I wasn't going anywhere. My dad told me to eat outside like a dog. My sister filmed me. My mom said nothing. I didn't argue. I just packed my bag and left. A week later, I made one quiet change. Now they're begging me to come fix the house they can't maintain without me. I'm Liam, 27, and I'm pretty sure I just got disowned. It's a long story. But basically, my family treats me like garbage. My older sister Ava is the golden child, and my dad constantly compares me to our perfect cousin. Anything I do is never good enough. I work my butt off, contribute to the household, and they still treat me like a freaking squatter. I'm the family ATM and punching bag, apparently. So, yeah, tonight things kind of exploded. Should I even bother explaining? Okay, so I get home, right? I'm exhausted. My job is pure manual labor, and I'm covered in dust and grime. I'm starving. I walk in the door, smelling dinner, and there's my dad, Noah, looking at me like I'm something he scraped off his shoe. He wrinkles his nose and says, "Liam, you look disgusting. Go clean yourself up. You're not sitting at the table like that." My stomach drops. I just stand there for a second, completely stunned. I'm so tired I can barely think straight. Then I see Ava. She's standing by the dining room table, phone in hand, filming me. She's got this smug little smirk on her face. She actually giggles. "Seriously?" I ask, my voice barely a whisper. I'm not even angry yet, just numb, like my whole body is shutting down. My dad just scoffs. "Go on. Out the back. You can eat outside." Out the back. Like a dog, I feel this wave of nausea wash over me. I can literally feel the blood draining from my face. It's like all the air gets sucked out of the room. I look at my mom, hoping for some kind of intervention, some sign that this is a joke, but she avoids my eyes. She just sets a plate of food on the counter and walks away. My mind is racing. What the actual hell is going on? I've come home dirty before. It's not some new thing. But this feels different. This feels deliberate. Ava's still filming. I can hear her whispering to someone, probably her boyfriend, about how gross I am. My dad walks over to the table and sits down, like nothing happened. He starts talking to Ava about her new promotion, like I'm not even there. I can't. I turn around and walk out the back door, the plate of food heavy in my hands. I feel this weird detachment, like I'm watching this happen to someone else. I set the plate down on the patio table and just stare at it. I don't even feel hungry anymore. I just feel empty, broken, like I'm not even a person to them. And then, get this, Ava starts sending me pictures of the empty chair at the table, pictures of them all laughing, with captions like "one less pig at the trough," and guess who's not invited to the party? Party. What party? I'm sitting outside in the dark, eating cold leftovers, and they're having a party. I can't even describe the feeling. Humiliation. Rage. I don't know. It was like everything inside me just snapped. I walked back inside, still holding the mostly full plate. My dad looks up, this annoyed expression on his face. "What do you want?" he asks, like I'm the one interrupting something. "Why?" I ask, my voice shaking. "Why are you doing this?" He just snorts. "You think you deserve to sit at this table looking like that? You're a disgrace. Liam, you're no better than a bum." A bum. He called me a bum. I work 60 hours a week to help pay the bills in this house, and he calls me a bum. I could feel the tears welling up, but I refused to cry. Not in front of them. Not again. "A bum who pays your mortgage," I muttered under my breath. My mom, who had been silently observing the whole thing, finally spoke. "Liam, just apologize to your father. It's not that big a deal. Not that big a deal." Are you kidding me? Being publicly humiliated, filmed, and called a bum by my own father isn't a big deal. That's when I knew this wasn't normal. This wasn't just a family argument. This was toxic. This was them. This was who they really were. I just shook my head. I couldn't even look at them anymore. I turned around and walked straight to my room. I started packing a bag. Screw them. Screw this whole family. I'm done. A week later, and things have gone from bad to nuclear. I'm staying at my friend Oliver's place. And honestly, it's the first time I've felt peace in ever. But my family, they've lost their damn minds. First, they blew up my phone. Non-stop calls, texts, voicemails. My mom's messages were all guilt-trippy. Like, "Liam, your father's so upset. He misses you. Just come home and apologize." Apologize for what? For existing. Ava, of course, was just vile. She left a voicemail calling me a pathetic loser and saying I'd be crawling back begging for money soon. I blocked them all. Then, they started contacting my friends. Asking them where I was, telling them I was going through a hard time, and painting me as some unstable lunatic. Luckily, my friends are awesome and saw right through their BS. Oliver told my dad to go take a hike. His words. Not mine, but they didn't stop there. Oh no. This morning, I get a text from my Aunt Carol, who I haven't spoken to in years. She's asking me why I'm treating my parents so poorly. Apparently, they've spun this whole narrative about how I abandoned them, how I'm ungrateful, how I'm the reason for all their problems. They're blaming me for their misery. I'm the scapegoat. Remember, I almost threw my phone across the room. And the cherry on top, my cousin, the golden child they always compare me to, posted some vague, passive-aggressive thing on Facebook about family loyalty and how disappointing some people can be. I'm 100% sure it's about me. The comments are full of people saying things like, so true, family is everything, and some people just don't appreciate what they have. OMG. I wanted to scream. This is affecting everything. I'm constantly on edge, checking my phone, worried about who they're going to contact next. I'm having trouble sleeping. I feel like I'm being hunted. It's insane. I can't even focus at work. This is straight up harassment. I'm starting to realize this isn't going to blow over. I need to do something. I need to, I don't know, get a lawyer, file a restraining order. This is beyond ridiculous. I just want them to leave me alone. Any advice? Reddit. I'm seriously at my wit's end. So, after I packed my bag, I called Oliver. I could barely talk. My voice was all choked up. I didn't even really explain at first. Just mumbled something about needing a place to crash. He didn't hesitate. Come over. Man, doors open. When I got to his place, I just kind of collapsed. I sat on his couch, staring at the floor, not really saying anything. He brought me a beer, sat down next to me, and waited. Finally, I started talking. It all came pouring out, like a dam had burst. The dinner, the filming, the insults, my parents' reaction, everything. I even told him about the years of constant criticism and comparisons to my cousin, stuff I hadn't even admitted to myself before. As I talked, I kept expecting him to interrupt, to tell me I was overreacting, to say something like, well, family is family, you know, but he didn't. He just listened, really listened, and when I was done, he looked at me, his face a mix of shock and anger. For me, dude, he said, that's messed up. Seriously messed up. They treated you like you were nothing. That's not normal. Liam, hearing him say that, hearing someone outside my family acknowledge that what happened wasn't okay, it was like a weight lifted off my chest. For the first time, I didn't feel crazy. I didn't feel like I was imagining things. I always thought it was me, I said, my voice cracking. I thought I was the problem. That I wasn't good enough, that I deserved it. Oliver shook his head. No way, man, this isn't about you. This is about them. They're the ones with the problem. They're projecting their own insecurities and issues onto you. You're their scapegoat. It's a classic toxic family dynamic. Scapegoat. That word hit me hard. It made sense. It explained so much. The constant criticism, the impossible expectations, the way they always seem to find a way to blame me for everything. It wasn't me. It was them. They need someone to blame, Oliver continued. Someone to make them feel better about themselves. And they've chosen you. That was a huge turning point. It was like someone had finally given me permission to see things clearly, to stop blaming myself, to stop trying to fix things that were beyond my control. I felt validated, seen, heard. For the first time in my life, I felt like I wasn't alone. And that, more than anything, gave me the strength to finally walk away. I realized I deserved better. I deserved to be treated with respect. And I wasn't going to find that with them. Not anymore. Okay. So I'm packed, bag by the door, ready to finally get out of this toxic hellhole. I'm shaking, but it's not from fear anymore. It's anger, pure, unadulterated rage. I've called a cab, and I'm literally just waiting for it to arrive. I'm trying to slip out quietly. No big goodbye scene, because I know it'll just turn into another opportunity for them to tear me down. My dad walks into the living room. Where do you think you're going? He demands, his voice dripping with condescension. I'm leaving, I say, trying to keep my voice steady. He steps in front of the door, blocking my exit. You're not going anywhere, he says, crossing his arms. This is your home. His home, right? Not anymore, I reply, my voice rising. Get out of my way. He doesn't move. We just stand there, staring each other down. The tension in the room is thick. I can hear Ava snickering from the hallway. Of course, she's filming the whole thing. Again, this family and their damn phones. Then, my mom appears. Liam, please, she pleads, her eyes watery. Don't do this. Just stay. We can talk about this. Talk. We've been talking for 27 years. Nothing changes. I shake my head. There's nothing left to talk about, I say, pushing past my dad. He finally moves, but not without giving me a shove. A shove. Seriously. As I walk out the door, I see Ava standing there. Phone still pointed at me. She mouths the words, bye, loser, bye, loser. Those two words, delivered with such venomous contempt, were the final, freaking straw. Something inside me snapped. It was like a switch flipped. All the years of hurt, all the resentment, all the anger, it just exploded. I didn't feel like a victim anymore. I felt powerful, liberated. I didn't say anything. I didn't even look at her. I just walked out the door and never looked back. In that moment, everything changed. I was no longer their punching bag. I was free. And I knew, with absolute certainty, that I was never coming back. Not ever. The cab pulled up, and I got in. As we drove away, I felt this calmness wash over me. It was like I could finally breathe again. I knew I had a long road ahead of me. I knew I had to rebuild my life, brick by brick. But for the first time, I felt hope, real hope, because I was finally free to be me. Without them, all right, Reddit. I knew leaving wouldn't be easy, especially with my family's penchant for drama. I needed a plan. This wasn't just about walking away. It was about building a fortress around my new life and making sure they couldn't drag me back into their toxic swamp. First, I gathered evidence. I saved all the texts and voicemails, especially the nasty ones from Ava. Screenshots. Oh, I took screenshots of everything. Those little digital gems might come in handy later. I even considered recording future conversations, but decided against it for now. I didn't want to stoop to their level. Yet, strategically, I knew going no contact was key, but I also knew they wouldn't respect that. So, I needed a buffer. Oliver was my rock. He agreed to field any calls or messages from my family, giving me space to breathe and preventing them from harassing me directly. He's a loyal friend and a total badass when he needs to be. Then there was the financial aspect. I knew they'd try to use money as leverage, so I opened a new bank account, changed my direct deposit info, canceled all joint accounts and credit cards, severed all financial ties. Boom. Take that. Leeches. Emotionally. I knew I needed reinforcement. Talking to Oliver helped immensely, but I also started seeing a therapist. It was amazing. She helped me understand the dynamics of my family, validated my feelings, and gave me tools to deal with their inevitable attempts to manipulate me. Best decision ever. Finally, I prepped for the fallout. I knew they'd try to smear my name, play the victim, and guilt trip everyone within a 50-mile radius. So I prepared a short, factual statement for close friends and family, explaining my side of the story without getting into the nitty-gritty. Short, sweet, and to the point. No drama, just facts. The thanks for dinner text and the biggest failure message in the family group chat. That was my parting shot. A small act of defiance. My way of saying, you finally got what you wanted. Now leave me the hell alone. Then, mute. Blissful silence. I knew this wouldn't be a quick fix. This was a war, and I was in it for the long haul. But for the first time, I felt prepared. I felt strong. I felt invincible. Bring it on, family. I'm ready for you. Okay, so the confrontation wasn't some big dramatic showdown. It was more like a slow, strategic dismantling of their control over me. A siege, if you will. I was the besieged, and they were the idiots banging on the gates. It started with the bills. A few weeks after I left, the phone calls started. Not to me, of course. I was blocked. They called Oliver, trying to get him to guilt me into coming back. When that didn't work, they tried my aunt, my other friends, even my work. Unbelievable. Then came the accidental texts. Oh, Liam, I meant to send this to Ava. But how are you doing? The cable bill is due? Yeah, right? Like I was born yesterday. I ignored them. All of them. The real kicker was the house stuff. My dad, apparently, is completely useless when it comes to home maintenance. Who knew? Suddenly, the leaky faucet I'd fixed 1,000,000 times was a crisis. The overgrown lawn, a national emergency. They started leaving increasingly frantic voicemails on Oliver's phone. Liam needs to come fix the insert latest household disaster. Newsflash. I don't need to do anything. One day, my mom actually showed up at Oliver's apartment. I wasn't there, thankfully, but Oliver told me she was practically in tears, begging him to tell me to come home. We need him. Oliver, she'd sobbed. He's the only one who knows how to fix things. Fix things. I was fixing their problems for 27 years, and they treated me like crap. I was their emotional and physical handyman, and they never appreciated it. Not any more. The turning point. It wasn't a single moment, but a gradual realization. As I ignored their calls, their texts, their pleas, I started to feel lighter, stronger. Their attempts to manipulate me, to guilt me, to control me, they were losing their power. They were like toddlers throwing a tantrum, and I was finally refusing to give in. The final nail in the coffin. It was a text from Ava. Seriously, Liam, just come fix the damn AC. It's 100 degrees in here. Stop being such a baby. A baby. After everything they put me through, she called me a baby. I actually laughed. Out loud. It was the most cathartic laugh of my life. That's when I knew I had won. I didn't need to confront them. I didn't need to yell or scream or explain myself. My silence. My absence. That was the most powerful statement I could make. They were finally experiencing the consequences of their actions. They were finally realizing what they had lost, and I was finally free. It wasn't long before I started getting calls from neighbors and acquaintances asking for help with odd jobs. Word spread like wildfire. Liam's your guy, they'd say. My reputation for being reliable and skilled, the very things my family dismissed, became my greatest asset. Within months, I had enough clients to start my own small repair business. I was finally using my skills for myself, for my own benefit. It felt amazing. And the best part, I was helping people who actually appreciated me, people who saw my worth, people who treated me with respect. That, Reddit, is the real payoff. That's the real victory. I didn't just escape my toxic family. I built a better life for myself, a life where I am valued, respected, and appreciated. And that, my friends, is worth more than all the money in the world. Update. Life after the going away party that wasn't. Hey Reddit, remember me? Liam, the family scapegoat who finally escaped the toxic wasteland of my family home. It's been 6 months since I posted about getting kicked out or, let's be real, finally escaping. And I wanted to give you guys an update. Things have changed a lot. The immediate aftermath was rough. The constant calls, texts, and attempts to guilt trip me through mutual acquaintances were relentless. My aunt even tried to stage an intervention. It was insane, but I held my ground. No contact was my mantra. Oliver was a legend, shielding me from the worst of it. Therapy helped me process the crazy, and focusing on building my new life gave me purpose. Fast forward to now, and things are different. The calls have dwindled. The guilt trips are less frequent. I think they're finally starting to realize I'm not coming back. My sister, Ava, still occasionally posts passive-aggressive crap on social media, but I just laugh it off now. She's not worth my energy. The biggest surprise, my mom, a few weeks ago, she left a voicemail. No guilt, no drama, just apology. A genuine apology. She admitted they'd treated me terribly, that they were wrong, and that they missed me. It was unexpected. I haven't responded yet. I need time. I'm still processing it. The best part, my business is booming. I'm my own boss, making a decent living, and helping people who actually appreciate me. I've even started volunteering at a local community center, teaching basic home repair skills. It feels good to give back, to use my skills to help others. I'm finally free to be myself, to build the life I want, without their judgment and expectations. It's liberating. There are still challenges. The holidays were tough. I missed the familiar rituals, even though I knew going back would be a disaster. There are moments of doubt, moments where I wonder if I made the right decision. But then I remember the constant criticism, the humiliation, the feeling of being invisible. And I know I did. I had to. My sanity depended on it. I've learned so much. I've learned that family isn't always blood. I've learned that self-worth comes from within, not from external validation. And I've learned that walking away from toxicity isn't selfish. It's self-preservation. So, Reddit, what do you think? Has anyone else gone through something similar? Any advice on how to navigate the holidays with a toxic family? I'm open to any and all wisdom.